Today, we are diving into the absolutely dazzling gold leaf world of Gustav Klimt. We're talking about an artist who didn't just paint pictures, he challenged an entire establishment and created some of the most unforgettable images in the history of art.
So let's just start with the most incredible fact, the one that always gets people. You know that shimmering, almost magical glow in his most famous paintings? Well, that's not just some clever trick with yellow paint. Klimt used actual gold leaf. His art wasn't just beautiful, it was literally precious.
I mean, the gold is spectacular, right? It's what draws you in. But it's the ideas glimmering beneath the surface that really shook the art world to its core. So what was it about his work that was so groundbreaking?
Okay, to really get Klimt, you have to picture the world he was pushing back against. He wasn't just some guy in a studio. He was at the very center of a full-blown artistic rebellion, right in the heart of Vienna.
He and a group of like-minded artists started a movement called the Vienna Secession, and the name says it all. They wanted to secede, to break away completely from the stuffy, old-fashioned art institutions. Their motto was perfect: to every age its art, to every art its freedom.
And this really shows you what they were up against. On one side, you had the traditional art world, which was all about historical paintings, super strict realism, and a whole bunch of conservative rules. But Klimt and the Secessionists? Nah. They were all about exploring emotion, using decorative symbols to convey meaning, and most importantly, fighting for total artistic freedom.
And pretty soon, this rebellion found its signature look, its most famous voice. It led to the period that would cement his legacy forever, the Golden Phase.
Yeah, this is the golden phase. It's what everyone pictures when they hear the name Klimt. But, you know, the gold wasn't just for show. He was deeply inspired by these incredible Byzantine mosaics he saw on a trip to Italy. So he was taking this ancient, sacred technique and blending it with totally modern, revolutionary ideas. Just brilliant.
And at the absolute peak of this period is a painting that everyone, everywhere, seems to recognize. It's a true masterpiece that's become this universal symbol of romance.
You see, the kiss isn't just a painting of two people embracing. It's so much more. It's a symbol that somehow captures the very essence of love itself. It's this perfect marriage of shimmering, decorative patterns and incredibly deep human emotion.
But here's the thing. If you can manage to look past all that dazzling gold for a second, you'll find this incredibly rich world of symbolism. Every little detail, every pattern, every figure in his work is just packed with a deeper meaning. And he wasn't afraid to tackle the big stuff. I mean, his art is constantly exploring these huge, universal human experiences: love, the fleeting beauty of life, the shadow of death, and the powerful, complex nature of femininity. And out of all those massive themes, one subject was always his focus, his main inspiration, the place where he poured his most complex ideas. Women were absolutely central to his entire artistic vision. But these were not the timid, polite portraits of the past. No way. Klimt's women are completely different. They're powerful, they're unapologetically sensual, and they often have this incredible aura of mystery about them. They aren't just there to be looked at. They feel like real, complex people with their own rich inner lives.
Now, as you can probably imagine, this very modern, very intense way of portraying women, all mixed up with his symbolic style, well, it created a powerful cocktail of beauty and controversy. Not everyone was a fan.
In fact, a lot of his work was considered flat-out scandalous. That raw emotion, that open sensuality, for the conservative public in early 20th century Vienna, it was just too much. They called his work far too erotic, even inappropriate.
So you've got this super famous, controversial artist who's leading a cultural revolution. You'd probably expect him to be this huge public personality, right? Well, the actual man behind the art was a whole different story. Make no mistake, he was one of the most successful artists of his time, celebrated all across Europe. But even with that incredible public profile, the man himself was intensely private. He famously wore this simple blue painter's smock, he hated public events and parties, and he just wanted to live a quiet life dedicated to his work. He never married, but his world was always filled with the female muses who were so vital to his art. And really, this brings us to the core of it all. Everything. The rebellion, the gold, the symbolism, the controversy, it all grew from this one powerful belief, that art's greatest purpose wasn't just to copy the world as we see it. It was to create beauty and to make you feel something.
So that leaves us with this really interesting question. Was he a radical revolutionary who tore up the rulebook? Or was he a master decorator who just made stunningly beautiful things? The truth is, just like his art, he was both. He was a rebel who used beauty as his weapon.